She posted them online, stealing from Joe Biden's platform, stealing from Donald Trump's platform. We do not know what she stands for. It's very scary to think that this is one of the first extemporaneous interviews we've seen from her on the campaign trail. And it really, we have to hold her to account on all of her policy positions. And Donald Trump, I believe, will do that. While he's up against ABC News, I think he will come out strong because he is authentic, unlike Kamala, who, again, we have no idea what she stands for, although we do know, based on that ACLU 2019 report, that she is far more progressive than what she claims to be now, especially given Bernie Sanders' words, which he said the quiet part out loud, that she's basically going to be doing whatever she can to win the election.
Krisha, we thank you for that. Shira, are you surprised that she hasn't done more town halls, more engagement with voters, more unscripted moments, more interviews? Or do you think this is sort of the strategy that you expected having covered her for so many years?
Yeah, I think this is a strategy I would expect. I would also say her campaign would probably argue she's done a lot of unscripted stuff. She does a lot of every city that she travels to go do a rally. She ends up stopping by a local business, having a little interaction, and those interactions are going mega viral for them on social media.
And maybe don't get covered enough by the other press, right?
Exactly. So I think they think what they're doing is working. I would love to interview. I'm sure plenty of journalists would love to see her talking more about her policies, talking more in depth. The scene in an interview was helpful, but there's still a lot left to be talked about.
Don, you got the last word here. 30 seconds left. What's the one piece of advice you give Vice President Harris?
Run your race. It's not about the opponent tonight. You've got one opportunity to introduce yourself and have a direct conversation with the American people. And then you can have all the town halls and interviews you want after this. But this is your night. Go out there and kill it. Make him irrelevant. And that will get under his skin more than anything else she could do.
Don, Krisha, and Shira, we thank you all for being here. That's going to do it for this hour of our special coverage of the presidential debate. We are just moments away from that debate starting and our special coverage. I'm Tom Young.
Tonight, the presidential race gets up close and personal.
Vice President Harris and former President Trump meet in person for the first time ever, and it's on the debate stage.
Our special coverage starts right now.
A historic showdown just 2 months out from Election Day.
Donald Trump and Kamala Harris face to face for the first time, taking on each other in a debate that could reshape the race.
We're going to win back the White House.
We are not going back. The candidates looking to make their case to voters in a sprint to the finish.
We will make America great
again. I want to go ahead and jump back over to YouTube to confirm that we're now sending over our stream.
With
so you see
showing
here that now
a tight race tonight
could
make the difference on who will become the nation's next president.
I recommend leaving it at normal. That's going to be the best for quality. So then you can go ahead now, and when you do that, when you have it on public, you can go ahead and say create broadcast. Now, I don't recommend creating broadcast and start streaming because you want to be able to set up your settings to make it look good. So I'm going to select create broadcast. It's going to say creating a live broadcast, please wait. You're going to see here that now on the left-hand side, my chat is now available. So we want to jump over to YouTube to make sure that broadcast was created. Now remember, we're not live yet. So we'll come back here to YouTube to make sure that we're all ready to go. So on your YouTube channel, you're going to come to you're going to want to go ahead and open up OBS Studio. If you don't have OBS Studio installed, I'll link in the description of this video for you to go ahead and get it all set up. So once you have OBS Studio open, you're going to come here to the right-hand side, and we're going to select Settings. The first thing we're going to do is going to get connected to YouTube. So you're going to come on the left, you're going to select Stream. Where it says Service, you're going to click that, and you're going to select YouTube RTMPS. And you're going to have two options here. It's going to say Connect Account, which is the recommended, and it's the one I recommend as well. And then use your stream key. Now, before we go ahead and connect our account to YouTube, there's one important thing that you need to know. If you've never streamed
the critical battleground state of Pennsylvania.
Like the last debate between Trump and President Biden in June, there will be no audience in the venue tonight, and the candidates' microphones will be muted while the other one is talking.
For more on what's at stake tonight, let's bring in Meet the Press moderator Kristen Walker and our senior Washington correspondent Hallie Jackson. Hallie, first of all, latest polls showing this thing is super tied up right now.
Call it a jump ball, call it a dead heat, call it virtually deadlocked.
So does this break it up?
Yeah, pick your cliche. And that's why this is so critical
to
tonight,
YouTube,
because look at the
you are
viewership,
going to need
first
to
of all.
go ahead and get
Tens of
approved,
millions
but it
people
does
may be
take
watching.
24
We talk
hours for
about
you
the
to go ahead and
convention
gain
being
access.
these
The
moments
amount of
where
subscribers and
prime-time,
viewers and things that you
high-profile
have does
viewership,
not matter.
twice as
You
many
just need to
people
get approved
watched
and
that
request
first
access,
presidential
and it
debate
does
when
take
it was
24
President
hours.
Biden up
So let
against
me go ahead
former
and show you
President
what that
Trump
looks
back in
like
June.
if it's
So
going
we
to
are
be your
talking
first
media
time
with
trying to
50
stream
million people
on
coming out
YouTube.
and watching this.
So
And
once
about
you get
3
logged
in 10
into your
Americans,
YouTube channel,
according to the most
you're going to come
recent
to the top
polling,
right
say
and
that
you're going to
what
go ahead and
happens
select
tonight
go
could
live.
make a difference
Once you go
in
ahead and
how
select
their
that, it's going to bring
decision-making
you to a
goes
screen
for the
just
vote
like
come
this. It's
November.
going to say
3 in 10
request
Americans
access to
also say
streaming.
they need to
Once
learn more
requested, it may
about
take them
Kamala
24 hours
Harris.
to gain
Only
access
about
to
1 in 10
live streaming.
feel the
So you
same
simply
about
go
former
ahead and
President
select
Trump.
request.
So
It's going to
especially
give
for
you
the
a
Vice President
timer, and
tonight,
then
it
you'll be
is
able
an
to check back
opportunity
in
to
within
tell
24
those
hours.
voters
So
who
once
she
you've gone
is, to
ahead and gotten
define herself
approved, you
before
can go ahead
Donald
and
Trump
continue
does
to
it for
follow
her.
along
And
with the
you
steps that I'm about
debates
to show
matter,
you
ask
now.
former
So
President
we'll
Harris. Even
come
President
back here
Biden,
to
if they
OBS,
matter,
and
think
now we
about
can
where
go
we
ahead and
were in
select
late
Connect
June. It was
Account.
Biden and Trump in
Once
the
we
race.
do that,
We all
it's
know
going to
what
go ahead and
happened in
ask us
that
to go
debate.
ahead and get
Now, the
logged
rules
in
that were
with
set
our
for that
YouTube
debate
channel.
are the rules
We'll
that
then
will
go
govern
ahead and
this
say
debate, Kristen.
continue to
If
give
we just
access to
mention some
OBS,
of the
and it's
more
going to say
notable ones,
authorization
the
completed
opponent's
successfully.
mic will be
You can now
muted
close
when the
this
other
page.
person is
So I'm going to come
speaking,
back
no
here to
audience.
OBS, and you're
Who
going to see
wanted
here that
these
now
rules
my
and who
account
do they
has been
benefit?
connected.
Here's the
Then you
irony.
want to make sure you select
President
here
Biden,
where it
when he
says
was at the
ignore
top of the
streaming
ticket,
service
his
settings
campaign
recommendations.
argued
You
for
want to make
these
sure
rules for
that
the mics to be cut for no audience. Now it is Vice President Kamala Harris who is arguing to actually unmute the mics. Why? Because they say they want her to be able to interject, to fact check if needed. There's also an argument that, boy, having those mics muted allows former President Donald Trump, who sometimes likes to have some crosstalk, say some things under his breath, to look a bit more presidential. So the question tonight, I think, about optics, but also substance. Former President Trump, will he engage in personal attacks? His allies are
is
urging him to stay
unchecked.
focused
Then you're
on
going to go ahead and press
policy.
OK.
For
This is
her
going to go ahead
part,
and pop up a
Vice
window
President
just like
Kamala
this.
Harris,
Now,
for all the reasons
because
that Hallie
OBS
just mapped out,
integrates
because
to
so many
YouTube,
people
you're going to be
still
able to
say
monitor
they
your
want
YouTube
to
chat
know more
directly
about her.
inside of
A lot of
OBS.
questions
So
about
you can see
what
here,
Kamala
YouTube
Harris
chat, once a
administration
broadcast
will
has
differ
been
from the Biden
created, your
administration.
live stream
It's
chat
with
will
those
appear
policy
here,
pivots
right?
that
So
we
we'll go
saw
ahead and
from
scroll
when
this
she
over.
first ran
We'll
for
go ahead and
president
tag
back in
this here to the left.
2018.
You just
Well, as
drag it until
mentioned,
you
this
see it
debate
pop
is
up,
taking place
and
in
now it's going to go ahead
Philadelphia
and
at
be
the National
in
Constitution
place.
Center. It's
So now
being
that we
hosted
have
by
that in
NBC
place,
News.
now we
Will
want to go ahead and set up
simulcast it
our
in
live
its
stream
entirety.
to be
Tommy
able to make
Ellis
sure that it
is
when it goes
there in
live.
the
So you
so-called
come here to the right and
spin
you're going to
room
select
where
manage
people can gather
broadcast.
and the
This is the
surrogates
benefit
gather
of connecting
before and
using the
after the
recommended
debate. Tom
option
set the
because you
scene
can
for us.
customize everything directly inside of
Hey,
OBS.
good evening,
So
Savannah.
you're
Yeah,
going to
we
go
are
ahead and
in the
select
spin
create a
room
new
right here, where
broadcast.
tonight
You're
the
going to name
campaigns
this
will
your
burst
title
in
of your
here,
stream. Make
declaring
sure you
their
utilize
candidate
something
of
that
the
generates
debate.
some
You may
curiosity, gets people
remember it was
interested on
here in the
what you're
debate
going to be
spin
talking
room where
about.
Team
Your
Biden took some
description, this
time
is where you're
to
going to be
enter
able to put
after
in
that
links
disastrous
to follow
debate
you on
as the
social
campaign
media,
went
to
into
be able
damage
to
control
donate.
in
This is where
Atlanta
you put
about
in
11
information
weeks
about
ago.
what your stream's
We hope
about
to
and
see
what
some of the
where people
biggest
can find
surrogates,
you.
maybe
Now here
campaign
where it says
managers,
privacy,
maybe the
this is
candidates themselves.
extremely
You never
important
know.
because if
The
you
debate
have
is being
this on
held, as you mentioned,
private
at the National
or
Constitution
unlisted,
Center.
that
It's just
means that when
across
you
from
go
Independence
live,
Hall
no
in
one's
Liberty
going to
Bell,
be able to
here in
see your
Philadelphia, of
stream.
course, in the
So you want to make
battleground
sure you
state
have
of
this on
Pennsylvania.
public.
So let's take you
Then you
inside
want
the
to do your
debate hall
category.
now
You
and
want to
show
go
you
ahead and
the
put
stage
gaming.
where this
You want
debate
to go
will
ahead
be
and put
taking
no,
place.
this is not
And
for
Savannah spoke
kids.
about some
And
of
then
this.
you want to
So
go
this
ahead
is
and
your
put in
traditional
your thumbnail.
one-on-one
You can
presidential
go ahead and
debate,
upload a
right?
custom
Both
thumbnail,
candidates
which I
standing.
recommend.
Former President
And then
Trump
as
will be
far
on the
as
left side of your
latency,
screen.
I recommend
Vice
leaving it
President
at
Harris on
normal.
the
That's
right
going to give
side.
you the
We'll
best
explain why
quality.
in just a
So
moment.
then
The
you can
debate
go
will be
ahead
about
now,
90 minutes with
and
two
when you do
presidents. There
that,
will
when
be
you
no
have it on
opening
public,
statements.
you can
Each
go
candidate
ahead
will
and
be
say
given 2
create
minutes to answer the
broadcast. Now, I
moderator's
don't
questions, 2
recommend
minutes for
creating a
rebuttals
broadcast
if
and start
needed, and
streaming
1 minute for
because you want to
follow-ups.
be able to set up your settings to make it look good. So I'm going to select create broadcast. It's going to say creating a new live broadcast, please wait. You're going to see here that now on the left hand side, my chat is now available. So we want to jump over to YouTube to make sure that broadcast was created. Now remember, we're not live yet. So we'll come back here to YouTube to make sure that we're all ready to go. So on your YouTube channel, you're going to
observing the debate known as the pool. There can be no interaction with staff during these breaks. The candidates will be given water, a pen, a pad of paper. You can't bring props or notes. There will be a giant timer just above the candidates' timeline so they know exactly how much time they have. And you may notice another thing. The candidates are nowhere near the same height. The podiums will be slightly different. And something to look out for, the first few seconds of this debate. Here's why. This will be the first time both candidates meet each other for the first time ever, or as the kids say, Savannah Lester, IRL.
In real life. For the old folks like us at home, we'll define it. Thank you very much.
Now come to your profile icon. You're going to go ahead and select YouTube Studio. And on the left-hand side, you're going to select content. Then you're going to come to the top. You're going to select live. And you're going to see your broadcast here. But you want to select this little icon here that says View in Live Control Room. So once you click that, you're going to be able to see here that now our live has been created. We're not live.
Were less structured, certainly
than what the vice president had been doing. I asked him what he thought would be the challenges of debating the vice president. He talked to me about the fact that he believes some of her policy positions have changed in a way that makes it hard for him to know exactly what she'll defend and what she won't. His campaign's solution
but it
for that,
has been created for us. It's going to have our title, our description, everything is ready to go. So once you've done that, you now need to come back into OBS Studio. So just connecting your YouTube channel to OBS Studio is not everything you need to do. Now we need to make sure that your settings are correct, so that way your stream looks good. You don't want your stream to be laggy or to be choppy. You want to give your viewers a good experience. So let's go ahead and get our settings set up so that way your stream looks good. Let's go ahead and jump into OBS. Alright, so inside of OBS Studio, you're going to come to where it says Settings. We're then going to go ahead and first we're going to double check our video.
Good morning, good evening, it's good to see you. Who knows what time it is? I mean, yeah, it's like a casino. There's no clocks. Old habits die hard. It's nice to have you with us tonight. Let's pick up where Garrett just left off. A lot of advisors, we're told, have said to your father-in-law, behave yourself, just play it straight.
So on YouTube, you can go ahead and stream higher than 1080p quality. But for this example, I'm going to use 1080p since most people are going to watch your stream on mobile, and that's all you really need. So you want to make sure you have 1920 by 1080, 1920 by 1080, and then your FPS, you want to have it at 60. This is what I recommend, but again, it's all going to be based on your computer and your internet speed. So if you do need to go ahead and lower this, you can go ahead and drop this to 30 to be able to make sure your quality looks good. So once you have that in place, you're going to come to where it says output. And these are going to be the settings that are going to be super important to make sure that your stream looks good. So you can come on top to output mode and select advanced. And then here for your encoder, you're going to have several options based on what you're utilizing. So typically you can use X264, or you can go ahead and use your graphic card if you are on a Windows, and if you are on a Mac, you want to use your hardware encoder. So then we're going to come down here where it says rate control CBR. This is going to be the most important aspect of streaming. Your bit rate is going to determine how well your stream is going to look, and to be able to find put so that way your stream looks good. Let's go ahead and jump back into the computer. So you're going to want to come to a website called speedtest.net, and I'll put a link in the description of this video. You're going to want to hit go, and then once you hit go, that's going to generate a number to put a link telling you what bit rate to utilize based on the quality that you want. This is provided by YouTube. So again, I mentioned we're going to do a 1080p, 60 frames per second kind of stream. So if you click that, it's going to tell it bit rate. We're going to come back here, right? So I know that I can go ahead and put 9,000 because my internet can support it. So once you have that bit rate, you can put that there. Streaming, you can see here that now we're live. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and jump back over to YouTube to confirm that we're now sending over our stream. So you see here that now we are live, everything is ready to go. Excellent. Our settings correct. What we're going to want to do now is now that we have everything ready, before you know the description of this video. So now that we know that there, and if you can't do 1080p because your internet speed, you can come that YouTube recommends. Rule of thumb that I recommend is that whatever your upload speed is, the amount of bitrate you can do 50, so 200 is recommending. So now that we have that number there, and if you can't do 1080p because your internet speed, you can come here and do 720p 60, and you can see here that it's going to allow you to go as low as 2,250, meaning you can just have a 5 upload, right? So that's going to, this article is going to be available for you in the description of this video. So now that we know that bit rate,
his opponent here. So how does that play into your concerns about this election?
Well, listen, I think Donald Trump is incredibly transparent, and I believe that that is something that's important for a leader in this country. Look, we had 3.5 years, Savannah, of people saying, what's going on with Joe Biden? And Kamala Harris was one of the many people who lied about his state. We need transparency in our leaders, and you don't have to love everything about
we're going to come back here, right? So I know that I can go ahead and put 9,000 because my internet can't support it. So once you have that bit rate, you can put that there.
Your life less expensive, that is going to secure our southern border, that's going to keep us safe, that is going to get us out of wars, not into wars. Those are the policies that people need to hear about, and that's what I think people should be basing their vote on. And it's our job at the RNC and the campaign to relay that.
Just to be clear, I mean, that policy debate absolutely is fair game and should happen. What I'm talking about is stuff he puts on Truth Social where he calls her dumb or not that smart or not as good looking as him, or makes a sexual innuendo about how she attained her position in politics, that kind of thing.
Well, Donald Trump is very good looking. He'll be the first to
Here,
tell you
your
that.
keyframe
But
interval,
I
you're going to
really
put it at 2
ultimately
seconds.
think
In your
that,
profile,
you
you're
know,
going to put it
whenever
at
people
high.
are
You're
more
going to go ahead and
focused
select
on that
OK.
than
So
they
now
are
that
their
we have
everyday
our
life,
settings
I
correct,
think
what we're
that's
going to want to
a
do
hard
now
thing
is
to
now
try
that
and
we
sell to
have
people.
everything
Whenever
ready,
they go to the
we're going to go ahead
grocery
and hit
store
start
and
streaming.
they can't
And so
buy
that's
as
going to
much
say
for their
start streaming.
families,
You can see
whenever
here
they
that
go
now
fill
we're
their
live.
gas
So what we
into
want to do is we
their
want to go
gas
ahead and
tank
jump back
and
over
they
to
can't fill it
YouTube.
up as much. Ultimately, I think that elections come down to kitchen table issues. And again, you don't have to love everything about him. You might not even want to hang out with Donald Trump. But whenever you look at your life and the future for this country, you know between these two individuals, you cannot survive 4 more years of what this country has just been through. And that is exactly what a Kamala Harris administration would be. Donald Trump's policies worked. They made life better for people all across this country. They kept us safe. And he will do it again with 4 more years in the White House.
Laura Trump, thank you for being with us. Let's bring in our chief White House correspondent, Peter Alexander, who is covering Vice President Harris's campaign. What's the view from there?
Well, Lester, let's start with some new reporting into NBC News. According to 3 people familiar with their conversations, Kamala Harris and the former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, the 2016 Democratic nominee, we have learned, have spoken within the last several days, where Clinton provided Harris advice and guidance as the only other woman to do a debate like this, one-on-one with Donald Trump in the past. Among that advice, we're told specifically that Clinton told Harris that Trump may try to debate her during the course of the conversation that we've probably witnessed in the past, and specifically said that if that happens, that she should turn it back on Donald Trump himself and try to provoke him directly. One thing to keep an eye on as we anticipate these two on stage a short time from now. We're told that Clinton and Harris have spoken several times over the course of the last several months since she became the Democratic nominee. We've also been hearing from those in and around the Harris preparations for this debate, telling us, among other things, that she had a series of non-debate sessions, many of them happening here in the state in Pittsburgh. In the course of that time, they had TV lighting. They had, so she could have a real experience of the stage on which she would stand. But she has watched some debate clips with Donald Trump in the past to prepare herself for what she may anticipate tonight. We're also hearing now from her husband. Of course, he is the second gentleman of the United States. Could be the first gentleman if he wins. Well, if she wins, well, we heard from him in the form of a tweet a short time ago where he said, in part, and I'll pull it up to read to you.
We're talking possibly a trillion galaxies. That is a number that is just so hard to compute.
Whether it's the moon, whether it's Mars,
It feels like we are on the cusp of something big.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is our special coverage of tonight's presidential debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. We will bring that debate to you live in its entirety once it begins.
And one has been made of this is the first time these two candidates have appeared on the same stage. They have never debated each other before tonight, and they've never even met. So what can we expect? We have a closer look at their biggest moments from past debates and what that could tell us about what we could see tonight.
Our senior Washington correspondent, Hallie Jackson's been walking down memory lane with the archive tape. Hi, Hallie. And it is quite a fascinating walk, Savannah and Lester, because yes, you said it, their first meeting ever, their first debate ever, but it is not the first time that either has stepped on a debate stage, period, with some of the most memorable moments from the past, perhaps providing some clues for tonight.
Tonight, the first face-off between two candidates with different prep, different styles, and different experience. For Vice President Harris, her first time stepping into this kind of general election spotlight after memorable moments in primary and VP debates.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
Harris, no stranger to the stage, from early in her career to her Senate run in 2016, when her opponent awkwardly dabbed.
So there's a clear difference between the candidates in this race. And I think the voters will make that decision.
Allies point to Harris's past as a prosecutor and arguing her experience helps shape sharp arguments.
Whatever the vice president is claiming the administration has done, clearly it hasn't worked.
And Harris drawing on her personal background, like in this key exchange in the 2020 primary with her future boss.
You also worked with them to oppose busing. And you know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
But Harris has had to play defense too, like in another debate that cycle, accused of hypocrisy for shifting to a more progressive position in a crowded primary.
There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
For his part, Mr. Trump has more debate experience as a presidential nominee, 6 in all, most recently in June, a showdown that ultimately ended President Biden's presidential run.
He finally beat Medicare. He was right, he did beat Medicare. He beat it to death.
Their first ever debate in 2020, notable Trump didn't say when asked if he'd condemn white supremacists.
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it. You want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
White
name.
supremacists and
Who would
white
you like me to condemn?
Proud Boys and white
Proud Boys. Stand back and stand by.
Then candidate Trump's first debate against Hillary Clinton in 2016 still holds the record for the most watched ever, 84 million viewers. At later face-offs, the two sparring over foreign policy and Russia's Vladimir Putin.
That's because he'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
No puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet.
Mr. Trump memorably looming behind his opponent on stage, at other points delivering personal attacks.
Such a nasty one.
And earlier in the Republican primaries, responding to a crass insult about the size of his hands.
Look at those hands. Are they small hands? I guarantee you there's no problem.
Now, tonight, Vice President Harris hoping to make good on past pledges.
I'd wipe the floor with him.
But according to the rules of this debate, it's former President Trump who will get the last word.
We're going to make it great again.
Now, some of those moments that you just saw may be mitigated by the rules we've been talking about at tonight's debate. Think about those mics muted when it's not each candidate's turn to speak. That may cut down on some of that overtalk or interruptions, if you will. There's also, of course, the rule that each candidate must stay behind their microphone. No stage wandering a la 2016. Lester, Savannah?
All right, thanks so much, Hallie. For more on what we can expect from both candidates tonight, let's bring in President Biden's former White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki and Donald Trump's former Deputy White House Press Secretary Hogan Gidley. Good to have both of you here today. Jen, let me start with you. I think it's fair to say a lot of Democrats were rattled by those latest New York Times Siena poll numbers. Is part of the vice president's mission and task tonight to reassure Democratic voters that all is well?
I think it's part of the mission, but the other part of the mission is to think about that 28